हेलो। हेलो।
इंटरनॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स.
1 मिनिट. हे करा
हॅलो
व्हिडिओ व्हिडिओ
सर, मी हे शेअर करून ठेवतो ना स्क्रीन. ते आपली
स्क्रीन शेअर करा. हा ओके डन 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 डन. एवढं उशीर का त्याला
सर, 2 मिनिटं लेट.
सेकंदाचा डिले राहतो ना इमिडिएटला. हे आपण झूम वरून इनपुट दिलंय. आपण दोन्ही सुद्धा बघू.
हे शेअर करतो ना स्क्रीन. ते आपली सर, 2 मिनिटं लेट.
हा
बोलतो
तिथून ते आवाजाचा issue होता ना. कुठं केला? नाही तर माईक कुठं लावलाय? माईक आणि व्हिडिओ दोघं आहे का? मी दिसतोय का बाबा का तिथं? हो. मी स्पीकर आहे अशा पद्धतीने आवाज बंद करू.
Hello. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Yeah. Is Parag sir is here or
Yeah. No, sir. Mr. Durgesh Gautam is here.
Okay. I see. You are the one, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. I see. Yeah. No problem. So, the student will join around 10, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the plan. Okay. So let me start sharing my screen and see. Okay. So host disable participant screen sharing. Is it possible, sir, to make me so I can share my screen as well? Because
Hello.
it says.
So one thing just I would like to tell you, we are having two platforms. One is a Zoom meeting, and in that generally we are considering the faculty members, and the rest of the sir YouTube channel will be there for participants and attendees from the students, and especially the students. We have arranged a YouTube channel as a platform
Okay.
to attend this
Okay.
session. And suppose sir they will have some any queries and all, so yes they will put the particular any questions in the chat box.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So then can we do one thing, maybe you can take a responsibility, just collecting all the questions,
Yes,
so I
sir.
can one by one we can go through, because
Exactly.
what I understood from Parag sir is that I'll be there will be a lot of students
Yes, sir. Yeah.
joining the workshop. Okay, so that's good then. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Huge number is there, sir. 671 participants are there total.
How much?
671.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
Yes,
That's good.
yes,
I think
yes,
that's a
sir.
good number, and that's
Yeah.
then I wish I was there, physically there,
Yeah,
because
sure.
that is more interactive than being on the Zoom.
Okay, sir.
You
Sure.
know? Yeah. Mhm. So you and one more thing, if the internet, because I don't know the internet quality
Okay, sir.
now, because I'm in India, in Mumbai,
Okay,
and
right. Okay, sir.
sometimes internet is a bit shaky.
Okay.
So if it doesn't go well, then I can turn off my video maybe.
Okay,
That's
sir. No
the
issues. No
best
problem.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
दूसरा सर दूसरे mouse से
Good. I mean, Parag sir is my classmate, and we were thinking of I can be there physically, but I checked the distance is really far from here. So yeah, I was like, maybe next time in future.
Yes.
Yeah. So just give me a second, okay? I'll just
Okay,
turn off
yes,
my
sure, sir.
mic and.
Yes.
So let me change the name because I'm borrowing my wife's laptop. I don't know how I can change it. Edit profile
So right
pictures.
now you are in Mumbai, sir?
Yes, I'm in Mumbai, and I
Mumbai,
can
okay.
see it's saying Sneha Navikal. That's my wife name. So
Okay.
let me change my name.
Yes, sir.
So it's good. Yeah, now it's changed.
Okay, sir.
Mhm. Yeah, sorry, you were saying something.
Nothing, sir. Just so you are having sir any vacations or something for that purpose you came over here?
Yeah. So every mostly in December or Feb,
Okay, sir.
like it's just vacation. Yeah, normally I come for like 4 to 5 weeks,
Okay.
but this time it was only 3 weeks. I talked to Parag sir that it is difficult to have the physical visit,
Yes,
but
sir.
maybe I can do it on a Zoom.
How long you are going to be there in Mumbai?
Maybe last one more week left. So upcoming Saturday, I'll be flying in morning.
Next
So
time,
last few.
next time, please reserve your 1 day for our college so that you can visit our college and interact with our students.
Yeah, sure. Sir, I would be very happy to do that. It depends on how today's session goes. If they like it, then yeah, sure. Or even I can talk about other things on the research, because today the theme was regarding how we can kind of opportunities after pharmacy. But yeah, sure, sir. I'm happy to do that. Yeah, because it is nice to interact with student than being on a Zoom. Yeah. And this college is in Kalwan. No, Kalwan, right?
Yes, sir.
In
Yes,
Nashik.
sir. Nashik
Kalwan.
district, Yes, sir.
And
It is
how
70
far it is from
kilometers,
Nashik?
70 kilometers away from Nashik.
70 kilometers. Okay. Yeah.
It's in interior,
Hmm?
but geographically very good location,
Hmm?
very pleasant and very conducive to education and kind of setup.
I see. Yeah. And how much time it takes from Nashik to Kalwan?
1.5 hours it takes.
Oh, 1.5 hours. So maybe around. I have to stay then, because it is difficult to have a 1 day ride. Back and forth. It will be difficult.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
we can have a staying arrangement at Saputara, which is a small hill station very near to our college. It's just
Uh-huh.
1 hour journey from our college, and
Okay.
it's a good hill station and very good accommodation and all facilities are there.
Okay. Good to know, sir. I would definitely sounds very promising and very tempting.
You might have heard Saptashungi Gad Devi Temple.
Yes, sir. I mean, I was there when I was kid. I used to visit there
Yeah,
with my
so
parents.
it is just half an hour from our college.
I see. And that's the one year, right? The location name.
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, so this
Yeah,
place is only 25 kilometers away from our college.
I see. Okay, it's very nearby then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. That's good. So far, I mean, so far we don't have any interruption with internet. I hope when student joins,
Yeah.
it will be same as now. Yeah. So currently we have all faculty members on the Zoom now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Uh, who is a controller? Like, can someone allow me to share my screen? Because now it says host disable participant screen sharing.
Yeah, Durgesh sir, he's taking care of this.
Okay.
Durgesh Gautam sir, who was talking to you before.
Right.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
I will just tell him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, Durgesh sir, can you allow me to share
Yeah.
my screen?
Yes, sir. Just a minute, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
we
Now you
can.
can, share your screen.
Okay. Yes, now I can. Yeah, perfect. Let me try. Yes, good. Can you share? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Complete
Yeah.
screen. Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's good. And can I open? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Awesome. And let's go through. I mean, it's on the live now, right? Okay. You
Yes,
can
sir.
see, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
awesome. Oh,
Yes, sir.
awesome. That's great. That's
Great,
great.
sir.
So I'll leave it like that. And,
Sir, you're basically your native place is, sir?
I'm from Panvel.
Panvel. Okay.
That is in Navi Mumbai. Or if you know Panvel, yeah. I'm from
Now, one
Panvel.
of my junior is there, sir. He is also doctorate and right now working in Nagpur. Mr. Manish Aglave. He has done recently PhD and he's working in Srimati Kishoritai Bhoyer College of Pharmacy. He's also, yeah, Manish
Manish
Aglave.
Aglave from
Yes, sir.
Panvel. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He's from Nagpur, sir.
Because he's from Nagpur. Okay, he's from Nagpur. Okay. Okay. Because in my district, like Aglave is only our family,
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, who is Aglave from Panvel? And I don't know.
Maybe, yes, sir. I thought that maybe most of the Aglav is from Nagpur, but I
Yeah.
came to know you are from Mumbai.
Exactly. I mean, Aglaves are in Pune as well, close to Jejuri. If you know the Jejuri, that is the holy place for our religion. And Nagpur, I never heard the Aglave in
Yeah.
Nagpur. Okay.
I'm basically from
Good
Nagpur.
to know. Oh, you're from Nagpur. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which area of Nagpur?
Sir, actually, I'm from Gondia district, Tirora, and I bought a house at Nagpur, Wadi, Amravati Road, sir. Ravinagar. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Because one of my best friend, he's from Nagpur, Sonegaon, close to airport.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, Wardha Road. Yes.
Yes. So that's how I know. Yeah, I really want to visit Tadoba,
Yes,
Tiger
sir.
Reserve.
Yeah.
That's
Chandrapur district, sir.
correct. Yeah. So you are, sir, doing the teaching at the
Yes,
the
yes, sir.
college?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Since
In which
2021, I'm teaching. Earlier, I had worked for other places, sir.
Okay, and which subject you teach, sir?
Pharmacology, same.
Pharmacology,
Yes,
perfect.
sir.
That's I
Exactly.
don't know if you have heard from Parag, sir. That's my favorite
Yes.
topic,
Yeah.
and everything is pharmacology for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Good. So you have done M.Pharm and then
Right now, sir, just I about to submit my PhD. Right now, I'm pursuing PhD from Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai.
from Chennai. And which
Yes,
topic, sir? If I
So
can ask.
nephrotoxicity, yeah, effective, particular protective effects of some herbal extracts are there, and their isolations on nephrotoxicity to prevent the toxicities by some gentamicin-induced and some other drugs.
Oh, that's nice. Is it very common in India to get
Yes, sir. Toxicities are much common, sir.
common?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I see. Well, that's good to know. So how you do it? Like you use a preclinical models or is
Yeah, sir.
clinical study?
Preclinical animal studies and even in cell line studies, sir, I have done. And
Okay.
even some biochemical parameters also I have checked, sir.
So you
Urine
use
as well as serum parameters, yes, sir. Using some diagnostic kits and all.
Oh, that's really nice, sir. Like,
Yes, sir.
using preclinical studies and clinical samples you get. Because like, I mean, that's the advantage, like doing the research in India is like, you get, you have a lot of resources, the clinical samples. Preclinical, yes, is similar as here, but clinical samples, yeah, it's nice. We have a lot of prevalence in our country, unfortunately. I mean, it's not good to have, it's very unfortunate, but
Yes.
it is what it is, right? That's good. And then you use the hex cells as a primate cells.
So sorry, sir.
Which cell types you use? The
Sir,
hex cells?
HEK, yes, sir. HEK
Yeah, hex
293, yeah, hex cells, yes, sir.
Hex
HEK
cells,
293.
yeah.
So
those
that
are-
studies I have done in collaboration with the KLE, Belgaum.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see. Well, that's nice. So you are submitting your PhD soon.
Yes, sir. It's very soon. This month I need to submit my synopsis, and maybe in the June I will submit my thesis.
Okay. Well, that's good. Good luck, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We have now 2 minutes. Maybe
Yes, sir.
student
Yes.
will join. Hello, Durgesh sir.
Yes, sir. We are waiting for the responses from the students.
Students, okay.
Still has students haven't joined it. Okay, sir. So we are waiting, and yes, within 5 minutes we will start the sessions.
Okay, no
Yes, sir.
problem.
Yes.
I can wait.
तर गोवा फिरू ते पण बॉयफ्रेंड सोबत लग्न कॅन्सल वा ते पण ऑफिशियल नवरा सोबत
Dear participants, please mute yourself. Hello, Dr. Nilesh sir. Sir, are you there? Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes,
I
sir.
was just
So shall
trying
we
to.
proceed, sir?
Yes, sure. Just give me a second so I
Yes,
can
sir.
turn on my video. Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone,
Yes, sir.
especially students. I met all the faculty members before, and I hope
Uh,
Tushar sir is there because he's my close friend or
okay.
the best friend. I don't know. I haven't seen him popping up on the screen.
So shall I? Yes, sir. Proceed, sir. The welcoming functions and all. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
You can
Yeah.
start. Yeah.
Yeah. Principal, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes,
Are you there, sir? Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. Good morning to one and all present over here on the online platform, Zoom as well as YouTube. Esteemed dignitaries, resource persons, guests, delegates, faculty members, and dear students. For this one-day international e-conference on global career opportunities for pharmacy students. This conference is organized by Training and Placement Cell, Loknete Dr. J.D. Pawar College of Pharmacy, Manur, Kadwan, District Nashik, Maharashtra, India. I am Mr. Durgesh Gautam, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacology. It's my great honor and privilege to welcome you all on the behalf of our college. I heartily welcome you all for this international e-conference. For this conference, today with us, an eminent resource person from different part of the world. The first session of this e-conference will be delivered by Honorable Dr. Nilesh Aglave, sir. He is a research scientist at BioArctic, Stockholm, Sweden. Welcome you, sir. Our next session will be conducted by Honorable Mr. Tushar Chauhan, sir. He is a manager at Cipla Limited, Mumbai. Welcome you, sir. The third session of this e-conference will be delivered by Honorable Dr. Girish Kedar, sir. Welcome you, sir. And the last session of this international e-conference will be covered by Honorable Miss Komal Bhandari, ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. Again, I welcome our principal, Honorable Dr. Avish Maru, sir, Vice Principal, Honorable Mr. Mitesh Sonawne, sir, all the faculty members and dear students. This e-conference is organized by our college for the pharmacy graduates, postgraduates, and researchers who are willing to work in abroad. This conference will provide the platform for the different career opportunities in other countries as well as in our country. This program will enable to create an ideas for pharmacy aspirants to grab the better opportunities in the foreign countries across the world. I think it's an golden opportunity for each and every participants and all of us to enrich and enlighten ourselves with the knowledge of global career opportunities. So now I would like to request our beloved principal, Honorable Dr. Avish Maru, sir, please preface our today's international e-conference. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Durgesh sir. Good morning, everybody. We all are connected here for one day international e-conference on global career opportunities for pharmacy students. Friends, as all of you know, healthcare and pharmacy, or we can say pharmaceutical products, this sector is one of the fastest growing sector, not only in India, but also globally. So, nowadays, we can see that in new generation, there is a lot of craze for the students in doing something in this sector. So they are pursuing graduation, post-graduation, and doctoral studies in pharmacy. And this trend is increasing day by day. Earlier, what I remember, say 5 to 10 years back, India was a popular hub as a generic medicine producer country. India was referred as a generic medicine producing country. But the perception is changed after COVID scenario. In post-COVID era, we can see that globally, the perception is changed in such a way that other countries are looking after India as a not only quantity making country, but a quality products making country. And that's the reason they have started recognizing our pharmaceutical industries. They started recognizing our products. And due to this, even our graduate students, they are getting more and more opportunities to work in other countries across the globe, like European countries, African countries, Middle East, American countries, and so on. So in these recent scenario, the thing is that there are a lot of opportunities for pharmacy students, not only domestically, but also globally. But what happens when one think of doing something abroad or in other country? The norms are different in every country. The regulatory norms are different. The eligibility criteria are different. Equivalence criteria are different. And it is not that you are willing to go and do pursue higher studies and you can straight away go and do it. No, you have to know all these much needed information, and,
हो
and then only.
हा येतोय 5 मिनिट.
So please take care of this. And then only we can students can think of plan for either pursuing higher studies abroad or to get some job over there. So what we decided, we will provide all this much needed information to our graduating students so that more and more number of students can think of to go to abroad to pursue higher studies, and they can think of doing career in pharma sector and other countries as well. So we have befitting expert people for this in our today's conference. Dr. Nilesh Aglave from Sweden, Mr. Tushar Chavan from Mumbai, Dr. Girish Kedar from Netherlands, and Ms. Komal Bhandari from New Jersey, USA. I hope this is going to be a very fruitful conference, this one-day conference, and interest of many more students will ignite, and they will definitely think of doing something at the global level. I wish all the best to all these delegates and the resource person. Thank you. Over to Durgesh sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, moving ahead for further session, I request Ms. Preeti Patle ma'am, faculty member of our college, please introduce our today's resource person, Honorable Dr. Nilesh Aglave sir, for his session on global career navigating opportunities at home and abroad. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Good morning to everyone present here. Myself, Preeti C. Patle. It's my great honor and privilege to introduce about today's research person, Honorable Dr. Nilesh Aglave, sir. He has done his Bachelor in Pharmacy from the University of Pune in the year of 2008. Then he has completed Master in Molecular Biology from University of Sweden in the year of 2010. Later on, he has done PhD in Pharmacology from Karolinska Institute, Stockholm, Sweden in the year of 2017. His research work, the role of peripheral and spinal HMG-B1 in rheumatoid arthritis associated with the pain. After that, he had joined as a researcher in the University of Texas, Dallas in the year of 2018. Then he worked as a researcher in 2020 in Karolinska Institute, Stockholm. He involved in multiple projects, performing molecular immuno-based experiment. Then he has contributed and actively participated in research conception, design, and execution to investigate the pathogenesis of fibromyalgia in marine model. Now he is currently working as a researcher in Uppsala University, Uppsala. He analyzed and interpreted biological biopsies and cell lysate from human cell line using LCMS-based proteomics using isobaric TMT tags. Sample preparation for proteomics, metabolics, and lipidomics. As well as he has published 11 papers. He has honored and awarded by travel grant from Karolinska Institute, Stockholm, Sweden, as well as from 50th World Congress for Pain from Argentina. Lastly, he is the meticulous and analytical researcher with 8-year experience in molecular biology and protein chemistry, as well as he has experience at identifying and using new technology and research. So with this brief introduction of such great personality and dynamic person, now I would like to request Honorable Dr. Nilesh Aglave, sir. Please proceed the session. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Preeti Madam, Yadnesh sir, and Avish sir. And good morning, everyone, all students. And I was talking to sir before that I wish the session was the physical. I was being there in the campus and having a nice interaction with you all instead of being sitting in front of the computer and just speaking to this the screen or the laptop. But nevertheless, it's better than nothing. It's good to start with to have these Zoom sessions or the e-conference. And thank you for nice introduction, Preeti Madam. Yeah. So, I think it is better all student. My request is to mute yourself.
Yes.
So we
I
will,
request
we
to
will
all
have
the
a,
sorry, sir, interruption. Sorry for interruption. I request my humble request to all the delegates and participants, please mute yourself.
nice. So we can have a nice discussion. Yeah. And before starting my presentation, I just would like to say, if you have any questions, just formulate your questions and put it in the chat box. And then after my presentation, we can have the nice discussion. And I hope I'll have more questions, so it means that you followed my presentation. So me, myself, I'm Nilesh Aglave. I'm a research scientist and R&D department at the BioArctic in Stockholm, Sweden. Please mute yourself. Unmute myself. Okay. Thank you, sir, for meeting everyone. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about the global opportunities for the pharmacy students at home. That means in India as well as in the abroad. So you can see this is the photos from Stockholm, Sweden. This is the peak winter during December. And this is how it looks. The temperature goes down to -15 to -20, and it can go to -10 as well. And this is a photo from my phone, and it is like my walk towards the universities. And everything is white during the winter in Sweden because Sweden is the north. It is in the north region of the globe. So let me change my slide. So this slide, I put it just to give you the overview of the opportunities in India or in the worldwide, or not opportunities, but the pharma contribution by the India. So as you can see on the left side, can you guys see my cursor? Can someone respond, Preeti Madam or Yadnesh sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's visible.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So as you can see, the India is, or you guys might have heard earlier that India is the biggest contributor for the pharma field. And Avish sir also mentioned that, yes, India has significant contribution, not even during the COVID time, but even earlier. India was the biggest producer for the pharmaceutical products that includes the injectables, airdrops, tablets, and all the pharmaceutical products. And as you can see in the different cities and the states, those are in the green color. Even though there are other states, those are not in the green color. Even those states has a pharmaceutical plants and has a lot of industries in India. And on the right side, if you see, let me hide. On the right side, the worldwide, as you can see, the USA, Canada, Europe, India, of course, then China, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. So, of course, these are the main nations contributing to the pharma products, and these pharma products are distributed all over the world. So take home message from this slide is India is also one of the major contributor for the worldwide for the pharma products. So that means that after completion of your B Pharmacy, you have possibilities to continue your career either in industry or in academia in India as well as in the worldwide. So for today's presentations, after my bachelor's, I have done most of my MS or academic work in outside. So I'll be mainly focusing on opportunity outside India. Please mute yourself. So overall opportunities, Divya Patil, please mute yourself. Sorry, I'm getting a strong the background because then I cannot speak.
Sir, I muted her. Okay, sir. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. No, it's unfortunately it's I'm getting strong the noise, background noise in my earphones. So then I don't know what I'm speaking. Yeah. So here the overall opportunities after the B Pharmacies is you can become a pharmacist, or for that you can also do that after completion of your D Pharm. But even after completion of your B Pharmacy, you can become a pharmacist. And I think this is a very classical method. Everyone knows that after completion of B Pharmacy, you can do the training in the pharmacy and apply for the drug license at the PCA, that is PCI, and I don't remember the abbreviation of PCI. But you get a drug license, and then you can have your own pharmacy shop. The second one is clinical research associate, or in the field of clinical trials, and there you can become a CRA or CRO. And I'm not going to talk more on that because one of my best friend, Mr. Tushar sir, will deliver that today. Then you can also seek the opportunities in the industry and in India, of course, or the outside. You can do the job in the production, in the department of production, quality control, quality assurance. Means you have seek for opportunity in the industry. Then regulatory affairs. Ms. Komal Bhandari will talk about regulatory affairs. So I will not touch on that. And you can also become a drug inspector. That means after the completion of the pharmacy, you have to do some courses, and you can become a drug inspector and to visit the pharmacy shops or in the industry. And then medical devices. This field is also getting popular these days all over the world, also in India. And one of my best friend, Dr. Girish Kedar, we were together in the pharmacy and for the master's as well. So he will touch upon that, and he's expert in the medical devices. And then you can become a pharmaceutical sales representative, and this is very popular. Even my time when I was in here doing my B Pharmacy, it is like the MR. You can market. Again, I don't remember the abbreviation of MR. So you can do the MR as well after completion of your B Pharmacy. Then academic and research position. So that is my expertise, and I can talk. I'm going to talk more about academic and research positions, and also how you can transit from pharmacy to the further the further educations outside India, not inside India, because I haven't done it and I don't have expertise. And then lastly is entrepreneurship. Means you can have your own startups, like your pharmaceutical startups, and you can also get the permission from the PCI after completion of the B Pharmacy. But of course, you need the finance for that. But if you have that, if you have backup of finance, you can have your own startup as well. So to start with, as I said, I'm going to mostly focusing on the academia. And so what are the options you have after the B Farm? So at the home, that means in India, you can do do the GATE and then apply for them pharmacies. Then you can do the PharmD, PhD, clinical research courses, MBA, and then getting the tenure track, become assistant professor, associate professors at the pharmacy college. And then eventually one day you will become a professor. But of course, you have to do the PhD and all during that time. So here, one thing I would like to say and highly recommend that it is really important when you finish with your B Pharm, it is important to pick your field. That means either pharmaceutics, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, then chemistry, because it is really important. What happens is when the group of friends are together, we always have a topic in the group discussion that, okay, let's go for pharmacology because this field is really popular, blah, 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 blah. But I would highly recommend that just follow your instinct, follow your ambitions, and follow what you like. Means, let's say if you like pharmaceutics, doesn't matter what happens, pick that field and continue your career in that field. Because as soon as you start your career in specific field, then you are getting expert in that specific field. So don't just just make sure, think about it, what you like, and then pursue to your further education in that field. That is super important. And then in abroad, you can do the master in science in different subjects like pharmaceutical, industrial pharmacies, and there are so many different courses you can do and select. So for myself, I have done the MS in molecular biology. You can do the MBA, PhD. Then after the PhD is mostly 4 to 5 years, and then after PhD, you can become a postdoc. And for postdoc, at least you have to do 5 to 6 years of postdoc, changing different labs. And then you can have your own research lab, being assistant professor, associate professor, and then you become a professor. Or after PhD, you can switch to jump into the pharma industries, or even after after your completion of masters, you can switch to the pharma jobs. So it's up to you if you want to follow the academic path or directly jump into the pharma industries, and that applies like in India as well as the outside. As I said, like, oh yeah, this one I have touched upon already, how many fields you can think of after your higher education, that is your B Pharm. So there are many fields there are many others as well, which haven't mentioned here. The first one is the pharmacology. That's my favorite. Pharmaceutics, chemistry. In the chemistry, you have analytical chemistry, medicinal chemistry, organic chemistry, then quality control, regulatory affairs. It is like, it should be up, but then, yeah, is a typo here. Then medical devices, you can become a sales representative, and many more, because the presentation I have prepared is based on whatever notes I have had in my head. So the current notes, like, you can get the help from the Google, and you can apply for, or you can look for different fields, and you can pick your own field. And again, I would highly recommend that it is important that you follow your passion, your desire, and what you like. Just follow that. So now I'm switching my the presentation, or the topic of today's presentation, into now how you can get into like an outside India, means looking for opportunities outside India. So again, this is a very shallow or not thorough presentation I have prepared, because it will take a lot of time, and it is nice that I'm there physically to go through one by one. So this is kind of, I would say, helicopter view of today's presentation, and how you can prepare yourself from from pharmacy to pursuing your education outside India. So the timeline, this is super important that you should follow the timeline, means the preparation. So when you should just start preparing, mentally and physically, pursuing your education. So I have really nice slides here, but let me tell you, you have to start actually preparing yourself by end of the second year of your pharmacy, max end of third year. You should have the passport. That's the most important, but I'll tell you more about the passport. Then prerequisite exam test you need it. That is IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, and then exam score. Of course, it is really important to have the highest score, and it also depends on the university, like if you have the lower score. So this is a timeline, and I'll spend more time on this slide because it will tell you the better overview of like how you can start preparing. So I have separated the different years, third year, fourth year, and after fourth year of your B pharmacies. And this is Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. That means every 3 months, excuse me, every 3rd month. And important is that, of course, you have to do all these things while you're doing your normal BPharm curriculum, because you cannot ignore that. It is super important you follow that. So let's start with the passport. Back in 2008, or 2007, when I was preparing myself, it is important because during that time, getting a passport was a huge task. It was taking, I would say, 5 to 6 months, to get your passport. I know now it takes hardly 15 days or max 1 month to get your passport. But again, it is really important, these documents to have. So it's important to have these documents ready before the 3rd year, or early of the 3rd year. So that's super important. And during 3rd year, you have to prepare for the exams. Those are IELTS, TOEFL, and GRE. So these are English proficiency exam, and it is compulsory in all universities outside because they want to check your English proficiency. Even though all our educations, B-pharmacy education is in English, but still they want to verify that you have good English and you can communicate and you can write, you can speak, and sorry, that's the communications. And there are like 4 different sectors you have to show your proficiency. So you have to start preparing yourself for this exam during the 3rd years. And then on the 4th year, it is important that you clear this English proficiency exam to have a good score. Like at least for TOEFL, for IELTS, it is important to have at least score more than 7 or 6.5, because some university can accept a score that is 6.5, but it is nice to have score above 7. And during the 4th year, it is important to also look for the universities, means which country you're going to pick, which city you're going to pick, and which university which fits to your profile, because that is important and it takes time. So it is nice, you kind of do this search when you're on the 4th year. And and also in this mid time, it is important that you start preparing the documents, and I'll come back to that, which documents you needed. And then of course, when you get your results of the 4th year, you can prepare the transcripts, or not prepare the transcript, but apply for the transcript from the universities. And then of course, as soon as you have all these documents ready, you can start the application. So here I would like to tell you one more thing, that some universities can take the applications before your final results, but you have to check now because I have no idea how it works these days. And one more thing I would like to mention here, that before it was really difficult, to do the applications, because that wasn't like a super fast internet area and era, and it was difficult to do the online applications. And these days, many things are available on the internet, and you can search for the university, and each university has this education and application. So all the details thoroughly written by each university. So these days is really easy to find the information about the universities, and also for the application, it's easy. And one more thing I would like to mention, that I know it looks super busy on the 3rd and 4th year, but it's also important that you follow your BPharm curriculum and your all extracurricular activities like gatherings, sports and everything. So I would highly recommend you enjoy that as well. Otherwise, you will be just busy preparing yourself for the higher educations, and then you will miss all the fun parts of the pharmacy days. So don't do that. So the countries, which countries you can pick, it is very subjective. It's up to you what you want to do and where you want to go. It's up to you. But there are the options I would like to share that you can pursue your MS or the higher education in Europe. And Europe comes like, of course, Sweden, because I done my higher education in Sweden, and I'll tell you why I picked Sweden. Then Netherlands, Germany, Finland, and many more in the European countries. Then you can do your master's or the higher education in UK, in Canada, United States, Australia, and New Zealand. Just give me a second. So, and again, like, it all depends on your profile and what you want, because not all universities has like, whatever you want to pursue. So make sure that whenever you prepare yourself for the higher educations, prepare the questionnaires, what you want, where you want to go, which country you like, and then check like the scholarship opportunities by universities. I know at least in the Europe, most of like the university in Germany, now I know because it was there in the Sweden, but not anymore. But in Germany, there are still some universities which can offer the scholarship for the students. So that is really good, because then the tuition fees get free, and that's nice. So like you can save some finances over there in Europe. But again, like it doesn't matter where you do, you get the good quality of education outside, of course, in India as well. So things to prepare: the documentation I was talking about. So after completion of your the pharmacy or the 4th year, you can prepare the transcript, or you can apply for the transcript. And there, I think you have to go physically, or these days, maybe you can do it online as well. But during my time in 2008, we have to go physically over there to apply for the transcript, because the foreign university doesn't accept our degree certificate, not degree certificate, our mark sheet, each year mark sheet. They like to see the degree certificate and transcript. So that's the most important. But again, it's important to have your mark sheet as well. But you will find all the details on the university website. It is nice, during the free time, you should have your motivation letter ready, cover letter ready, and CV ready. And each university has their list of the documentations, and you must submit only those documents. You don't need to submit the extra documents. Like if they don't ask for mark sheet, don't submit it. And also, I forgot one documents here, that is IELTS documents, or any English test like TOEFL or GRE. So I forgot to mention one thing. So in the United States, they need GRE and TOEFL. In Canada, I think GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS, one of those is fine. But in the US, is mainly the GRE and TOEFL. You need both. In Europe and UK, you need IELTS. Same for Australia. I think Australia can accept the TOEFL or the IELTS. And New Zealand is IELTS. It's pretty much saying that you just have to show the proficiency. So that's, I mentioned like earlier, that you need to think well in advance. Like when you look for the university, it is really important that you think that, okay, I have to aim for this country. Means you can prepare for the exam, either IELTS, TOEFL, or GRE, or TOEFL. So that's really important that you plan well in advance. So of course, the very important one, finances, because when you pursue your higher education outside, of course, it's expensive. And you need a finances, but it doesn't mean that if you don't have the financial support, it's still possible, because I have gone through similar stuff. I didn't have the family support for the finances, but if you have the support from the family, it is really easy, that you can at least you can pay the tuition fee, and you can apply for the loan for your daily expenses. But let's say if you don't have the support, the financial support from the family, you can still apply for the education loan, and it's easy, to apply for the education loan, and you get the good interest rate as well for the education loan. And then you can repay back the loan when you finish with your master's and when you get the job. And there are options as well that you can apply for the government or private scholarships. During my time, it was very difficult to find the government and private scholarship because during that time the internet era wasn't there. But now you can just sitting at home and you can look for the different scholarship for to getting the higher education outside. So you can seek for those as well. And if you get the scholarship, it's perfect for you. So you can kind of minimize your finances. The managing finances is when you are outside, in outside India, you can manage your finances doing a part-time job or get a help from seniors to find or get a part-time job during the free time. And then you can kind of support yourself and minimize your finance load. And there are also the campus-based job, and it is important you can find the jobs attending the student events and talking to the course coordinator. Then the admissions. So let's say you get admissions, you get hardly 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months to kind of prepare for so many other things, such as the visa applications. So all those details, the university helps because you get the admission letters from the university. And the university, that admission letter has all the details about how you can apply for the visa application. And it's very easy and straightforward that you just have to visit the embassy at Delhi or the local office, the consulate office in maybe in the Nasik for you, maybe if they have, or in the Mumbai. So it's easy to apply for the visa. Of course, as soon as you get a visa, you have to buy flight tickets. And meanwhile, it is super, super, super important that you join the international communities on the Facebook or contact seniors. So before it wasn't like that, but these days, these Facebook communities, all let's say Karolinska Institute or the Uppsala University has a Facebook group for the new master students. Just join those groups and then phrase your question and then ask all different type of questions, because you will find someone or many people will approach you and help you on how you can prepare yourself before your arrival in that city or to that university. So it is really important that you join this international community as soon as you get the admission. And as I mentioned, phrase your questions, all type of question. Just don't hesitate, how I can ask this stupid question. Not a single question is a stupid. Just ask the questions, then you get answer. And after visa arrival, you have to do the shopping, packing, and then you're good to go. And then when you land during educations, in the beginning, it is really difficult because you have to acclimatize to the country. That means the weather conditions in the Europe. If you land during the winter time, the weather is like -10, -5 is something like that. But if you are in the southern Europe, then it is pretty bit little bit warm, but still is cold compared to India. So you have to acclimatize to the country, and that's for that you have to have a good proper clothing to not get freeze. And then get used to the city means you have to understand this is the internet era, and then everything is possible on the Google Map. But before it wasn't like that. There was a Google Map, but it wasn't functional. But then getting used to the city means getting used to the transport service, getting used to the grocery stores, getting used to the overall the county or the municipality. So it's important, to get used to the city. And then join the student community. It's super important that these are the core group. These are the core groups. Yeah, thank you. So where I was, yes. So it is important that you join the student communities. Just give me a second. Yeah.
I muted her, sir.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, as I said, I just get the stronger background noise in my headphones. Yeah, so it is important that you join the student communities because these are the core group in the universities, and you get most of like all the course related information from that communities. And of course, it is important to join student events because there you get. So this is like, I put the photos. This is how it looks. The student events, like you just go and mingle all the international student or the national students, and then you get help from the students because everyone is new, and then they are like kind of they. Then you network and you meet those friends, and those are the one help you in the future. So it is really important that you participate in student events and join the student communities and then get help from each other, because you sometimes the information you share with them, or sometimes you get the information from your new friends. After 2 months, you have to start looking for the part-time job because you're still in the curriculum, and it is important that you start the process for looking for a job. And during the semester break, you can, if you get a job, you can do the part-time job. And to get a part-time job, it is important to contact seniors well in advance, have the good connection during the student events, and join the student communities, or talk to the course coordinator for the campus-based job. And it is really common in US to get the campus-based job, but not in Europe. Europe, you get the jobs outside campus. And after 1 year, you get kind of settled. You know the city, you know everyone, you get friends, you are aware of everything. Means you are kind of rock and roll in that city. So what you have to do after finishing with your 1 year, you are become independent. And super important, as you can see, I have highlighted and made it as a rate that make sure you help the freshers, because that's the kind of pattern all the Indians or all international students do, is to help the freshers. And that's the kind of chain is ongoing, and everyone, all seniors knows the struggle they have to go through. So again, now it's your duty when you become independent to help your freshers. So again, for the academic positions, so this was whatever I was talking about, is kind of get the further education after the B Pharmacy. That is like kind of MS. You finish MS, and after MS, you can either do the industrial job or finding a job opportunity in the industries, or the academic positions such as a PhD. And you can do the PhD for 4 to 5 years in the different field, in the formulation, in pharmacology, physiology, immunology, neuroimmunology, public health, and so many other branches you can do your PhD. And after PhD, you can switch to the industries, or you can again follow the academic path, doing a postdoc for 5 to 6 years, and then get a position at the universities, or again go back to go to the industry. It's completely up to you. So I understand now for today's conference, we have the master's student as well, or the MPharm student as well. For the MPharm students, I would say you can either do the MS, means, or you can apply for the PhD, because there are so many universities can accept the international the MPharm or MS student. So you can directly apply for the PhD. Or easy is to do the MS, and then it's easy to from transit from MS outside India and then get a PhD. But sometimes it's difficult being an MPharm from here and then apply for PhD. But again, I would say it's not impossible. It is still possible. And then this is the last slide. I just would like to show my part, how I've done it. Is I did my B.Pharm from Sigurd Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Lonavala, in 2008. And after B.Pharm, I did MS in molecular biologies from University of Skövde in 2010. And then I did my PhD in pharmacology from Karolinska Institutet. So this photo is super important. I don't think you might have seen this photo. This building is one of this building, and I hope you see it. This building is one of the prominent and very valuable building in the world, because this is a building where all the Nobel Prizes are announced, and that is from Karolinska Institutet. So this is the entrance of the Karolinska University, and you can see this tree. And this tree is here. So as soon as you enter the main entrance, on the left side, you see the Nobel Forum. So this building called Nobel Forum, and here every year all the Nobel Prize are announced. So my PhD was in the Nobel Prize University, and this building has this significant value, and all the international visitors do visit this building. Oh, anyway, nevertheless, after PhD, I did my postdoc in neuroimmunology at the University of Texas at Dallas in US. And after 3 years of my the postdoc, I did the second postdoc in Karolinska Institute because of my interest. I was mainly focusing on the pharmacologies, and Karolinska has the highest rank the pharmacology department, that is number 5 or number 3, I don't remember now. But during my time, it was number 5 in the world, and it was very well known and well-known department for the pharmacologists. And after that, I did the research work in the proteomics field, doing LC-MS-based omics that includes the proteomics, lipidomics, metabolomics, and all different omics I did over there. And after that, I decided to leave the academia because the next step for me was to have my own research lab and research group, and then kind of continue my tenure track with assistant professor, associate, and then become a professor. But now I am recently started my career in the industry at the Bioadic. I'm in R&D department, looking for novel treatments for the neurodegenerative diseases, that is the ALS, Parkinson disease, Alzheimer's disease, and so on. So I would say this is like kind of overall my journey in this single photo. I just would like to share so the student knows. And with that, I would like to say thank you so much. And again, this is a nice, the timeline or the skyline of the Stockholm. This is the old town in Stockholm, old city. They preserve the old town, and this is nice night view of the old town of Stockholm.
Thank
you so much, everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Now this is the question answer session is open for all the participants present here. If you are having any doubts, any queries regarding this today's session, so you can drop the message in chat box, or you can raise the hand. So if any doubts, please. Yes, dear participant.
I think we have 2 text messages.
Yes, sir.
Yes, any delegate, suppose
No.
you are having any queries, so you may type in the chat box.
No questions.
Or you can raise the hand.
Sir, I would like to ask you one question about
Yeah, sure.
equivalence of our bee farm with whether it is recognized over there for directly considering for the job.
Yes, sir. I mean, it is, but it is difficult because then, I mean, it's still possible. It doesn't mean that it is not like kind of getting recognized. But the only issue there is when there is a one positions open in the industries, there are the multiple applications from, let's say, if the students applying from the India versus students from the local city or from the country or from the Europe. So in that context, the internet, the local students get the preference. But if the student is very competitive and have the competency, then it's still possible that the student can apply or get a job in outside.
That means our graduate is considered equivalent to their graduate. Our postgraduate is considered equivalent to their postgraduate, is it? Because
yes, exactly.
In USA, the thing is not in this way. They don't consider our graduation directly equivalent to their graduate.
I see. Yeah. But so in US, there are multiple problems. They don't hire, they don't hire, or they don't prefer international students. They prefer their the students those are residing in US. So that's the main queries, because after completion of your bachelor, you can still apply for the MS, and then they accept our bachelor degree. And if you are M.Pharm, you can still apply for the PhD, and you have higher chances to get a PhD. Means like our M.Pharm is also getting accepted.
And our informed postgraduate students, they are directly considered for the job in Europe, like in UK and other parts of Europe.
Yes, sir. Again, is a possible. Yes, they can. But again, is when it comes to the competencies, if the Indian student is competing with Europe students, then European student get a preference. But let's say if the European student, but the Indian student has a more competitive CV, then still the Indian student had chance to get the job in Europe. It's still possible, sir.
Okay.
But I highly recommend. It is nice to have the MS from Europe, or like from the same country.
Acha. Yes, thank you, sir.
One more question from Bhaisi Patel. On the basis of Indian B Pharmacy degree, we can get admission in foreign countries for MS.
Yes. Yes. So, good question. Yes, an answer is very straightforward. That yes, it is possible that based on our B Pharm degree, you can apply for the masters, and that's possible.
Yes, anyone question? If you have any doubt, so you can ask the question.
Sit that exam merit depending on the caste or not. Okay, so there is a question from Kunal Nikam. So that exams merit depending on the caste or not. So yes, so it's a good question. So outside the India, so there is no kind of the admission based on the caste or anything. Everything is like individual over there. So yes, there is no caste system in outside India. It's like all students treated as same. So there is no caste system.
Does anybody? Does anybody want to ask the question?
Yes, just I request to participants and delegates, those who are attending this session through YouTube channel, you may write any questions on chat box.
Okay. Okay, I think more questions. So
yes.
So one more question is there.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, sir.
The question is from Kaveri Lohankar. How much approximate money should have to outside the India?
It's really good question. So it depends on which country you pick, because if you select US, then the tuition fee is very high in US. If you pick the Canada, then tuition fee is slightly lesser than US. If you pick Europe, then there are many universities in Europe. They provide scholarship for the students. Means your, let's say, one semester fees get discounted. Means you don't have to pay for 1 or 2 semesters out of 4 semesters. So there you kind of save your money. And then for like at least during my time, it was approximately 70 to 80,000 rupees per month. At least you need minimum of that. But all these detailed informations is kind of this. If you visit that respective university, all the information is like kind of provided on the website, and there they kind of estimate how much money you need for the expenses. And these kind of questions also you can ask the seniors, because the seniors are living in that city, because the expenses can vary from city to city, because some countries they are very expensive, means living in that city is like expensive. So it's nice, like you get kind of approximate idea from the respective senior, or from like joining those Facebook community.
One more question from Kunal Nikam, sir. Which branch has current uptrend in pharmacy?
That's a good question. It's a good question, and I think I was planning to touch upon that, but somehow I missed it to touch upon that. So again, when it comes to the different sectors in the pharma, like all those sectors are important, interlinked with each other. For example, like pharmacology, pharmaceutics, then chemistry, and what else, QA. All these 4 sections are important, because whenever there is a new treatment or new drugs, because the new drug is kind of produced by the chemist, right? Their mechanism of action is checked by pharmacologists, right? The documentation is done by the QA. So all these fields are really important. And again, here important is like what you like more. Do you like pharmaceutics? Do you like chemistry, or you like the ecology or the pharmacology? So here is it doesn't matter like which field you pick. I know in India is a different discussions, but at least outside, all the fields are getting appreciated equal when it comes to the paycheck. But I know like in India, pharmaceutics is much more popular than other fields. That's I heard during at least my time when it was in 2008. But yeah, I would say all fields are important. Yeah.
So thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and being with us in the entire session. You have given us your valuable and precious time from your busy schedule. So I would like to thanks for enlightening the career opportunities in abroad. So definitely our students will take the benefits of the today's session. So thank you so much, sir, for a nice informative session. At last, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Also, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants and delegates present over here. So now I would like to request Mr. Durgesh Gautam, sir, please proceed for the next session. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
ma'am.
everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sir. Yeah, before ending this session, yes, any participants, delegates would like to ask any questions? Then we are having a second session. Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, being with us, and yeah, yes, sir. Now, moving further, for second session, with us, Honorable Mr. Tushar Chaudhary, sir. He is a manager at Cipla Limited, Mumbai, for his session on career opportunities in clinical research and project management. So for this session, I would like to request Ms. Sampada Deshmukh, ma'am, faculty member of our college, to please introduce our second resource person for this second session. Yeah, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure and honor to introduce and welcome today's resource person, Honorable Mr. Tushar Chavan, sir. He has graduated from Sihagarh Institute of Pharmaceutical Science, Lonavala in year 2008. He has completed his post-graduation from Sihagarh College of Pharmacy, Vadgaon, Pune, in Quality Assurance Techniques as a specialized subject in year 2010. Later on, he also completed the Intellectual Property Law from Symbiosis International University in 2010. He has worked and experience as research associate in Alchem Laboratories for about 2 years. Later on, he joined Actavis Generics for about 4 years as a project in charge. He had joined as a senior project manager in Pharmadex Solution for about 4 years. He is certified project manager with more than decades of experience as a clinical project manager for 505B to phase 1, first in human and complex generics project for US FDA and regulated market submission, have a strong bioanalytical expertise in generic product development and novel drug delivery solution with the regulatory insights. He is presently working as a manager, clinical project management in Cipla, which is recognized as a global pharmaceutical firm. Now, After this brief introduction, I request to Mr. Tushar Chavan, sir, please proceed for this session. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you, Preeti, for your nice brief introduction. Really, thank you so much for it, and thank you, Parag Kothawde, for providing me this opportunity to interact with the student. So first thing I would like to know that is my voice is audible for you all? Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay,
Proceed. Go ahead,
that's
sir.
okay. Okay, that's great. So, hi. So one thing I also would like to know that is the audience are from the bachelor pharmacy or they are about to complete masters in pharmacy?
Yes, sir. Some delegates from masters and most of the delegates are there from the bachelors, sir.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yes, sir.
So good morning. As my name is Tushar Chavan and I'm working as a project manager. So I'll be speaking with you for the next hour. And the topic I chosen is a career opportunity in the field of clinical research and the project management. I hope you can able to see my slide. If not, then please let me know.
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I can see that Dr. Nilesh Aglave really conduct a very good session. So after that session, I can see that he already raised his bar, raised the bar of this session to the very high level. So I hope there should not be any ice breaking activity in between, because I don't want to end my session one-sided where I'm just talking and I'm just expressing and no one is asking any question. So to make this session successful, I really need your help in terms of interaction. At any point, if you want to ask me anything, you can ask me, just unmute yourself and yes, we can interact in between. And if you feel that there is a language barrier, you can interact with me in any language like Hindi, English, Marathi, wherever you feel comfortable, because this is your session, not my session. So let's continue with our today's session. So Ms. Preeti already explained about me. So I feel that there is no more introduction required from my end. Still, I would like to ask you something that I hope you people are aware about the few terminologies like bioanalytical, project management, 505(b)(2), first in human, clinical trial. If not, then that whole session, I need to lower down certainty to the level where you people can understand. So I'm considering that you people might have some glimpses about this terminology. So bioanalytical, yes, definitely is a terminology that analysis from the biological samples. PM, project management. 505(b)(2) is a type of submission to the US market, where the dosage form or the salt form or the something is different than the innovator. So these are the few terminology you should aware before we just diving into my today's session. So let's move to the next slide. That this is the agenda what I said for the today's session. First is the why to select a career, then opportunity into the clinical research, opportunity into the clinical into the project management, tips and mistakes, and question answer, interactive session. So as I mentioned, the question answer at the end, that doesn't mean that you cannot ask me a question in between. If you have any question in between, please ping or please let me know. Yeah. So any guesses that why to select career? Of course, carefully. Anyone can just unmute and just say about what is he thinking about it. I would love if anyone can attempt this question. Any guesses?
Yes, participants, please be interactive.
Please don't make me feel that I'm alone. I'm talking with the screen. I really wanted this session interactive. This should not be a one-sided session. Please.
Yes, dear delegates and participants, please be interactive. And if you are having any queries, yeah, please ask to sir.
Any language, by any way, yes, you are welcome.
Yes, please, anybody else? Our humble request to you.
Don't let your professor answer this question. Oh, that's
Especially, yes, some students, those who are joining or attending this particular meeting through the Zoom meet. Yes, please be interactive. Because some students, many of the students are students, they are attending this session through the YouTube channel.
Oh,
Yes,
not
sir.
an issue, not
Yes.
an issue. So we'll just move to the to answering this question. So yes, certainly this why we should select a career carefully, because you all are unique. You will born once, and believe me, if you join any field, there you will have to work for at least 40 years. 40 years, roughly calculate 80,000 hours. So for 80,000 hours, you need to work. And now don't tell me that you want to end up your life or you want to work this 80,000 hour in the field where you are really not interested or where you really not want to be there. So the career which you choose will definitely guide you to the sector. Participant, please unmute yourself. So yes, definitely selection of this career will end up you somewhere where your family should be proud, where your family should feel relaxed, and yes, your subordinate or your junior will inspire from you. So guys, while selecting the career, please be careful. So yeah, so now we are starting today's session. So what are the opportunities into the clinical research? So I think since the B Pharm and Master in Pharmaceutical students are there, so those students are really aware about what is a clinical research. But yes, clinical research is a field. Kunal Nikam, hello my friend, please unmute if you have any question. Okay, so clinical research is, in a layman language, yes, it is a research about the clinical consequences or drug to the body or body to the drug, like you studied into the pharmacology, PK, PD, all this come in under the clinical research. So yes, in clinical research is a very, very, very much booming field now in the India as well as outside the world. So India is at present a hub for the clinical research. So if you are really looking for a job after your completion of master, there is a lot of opportunity into the clinical research. So as I said, India is a hub for the clinical research, considering the relaxation in terms of providing approval from our direct DCGI office or the population, which is not a curse, but resources for the India. Many multinational company as well as Indian company are really doing extensive clinical research in India. And this clinical research in India open a very, very large number of doors for the Indian students who really want to pursue their career into the clinical research. So there are the different sector where people can join from the academics or from the college directly. So I enlisted a few of the fields, but believe me, these are not the only field where you can make your career. There are more than that. But yes, that definitely are kind of at higher level where you require certain expertise to get into that job. So opportunity into clinical trial. So clinical trial means basically here I wanted to say that it is a patient-based study. Definitely patient-based studies are not the one which conduct into the at one part of the India. It can be, it is necessary to be a multi-center trial which are running across the globe, across the different parts of India. So if anyone love to travel or ready to travel, can explore his career into the clinical trial. So definitely next question will be what are the primary requirements to get into the clinical trial? So yes, you should aware about the pharmacology. You should be well versed with the drug and its action. If you are well versed with your pharmacology, definitely clinical research is a field for you. If you are not well versed with the pharmacology, but you are well with the PK, then also the clinical trial is a field for you. So this clinical trial mainly running in India by different pharmaceutical company directly or through some clinical research organization. So getting this job into the clinical research organization who are running a clinical trials, then BAB study, then medical writing, then the bioanalytical field are many in numbers. So I'm just stating few of the companies, clinical research organization name who are there in Pune. You might aware about Synergen Bio or the Lupin in-house BAB Clinical Trial Center, or in Mumbai region, the Acuitas RAP team, or the Watson Teva's in-house BAB Clinical Center, or in the Ahmedabad region, there are center like Axis, Clientha, Lambda. So believe me, there are more than hundreds of clinical trial organization in the India who is providing a very wide opportunity for the students. And basically, they're definitely asking for the freshers into this field because the number of opportunity is growing and the field is expanding at very large speed. Then if anyone who is not very much interested in traveling and love to have a job in a one city can join the BAB centers. So there are different BAB centers who are, as I said, run by the private organizations or by the pharmaceutical companies, are located in the one city, where the job is somehow similar to the clinical trial, but not alike traveling. So basic difference is that clinical trial are for the patients and the BAB center job is where the study is conducted on the healthy human subjects. So basically requirement for this all kind of job is you should complete your master's. After completion of master in pharmacy, you will be very much welcome to this field to join as a clinical research associate as you are just passing from your college. If anyone love to write, love to read, love to understand different guidelines, different countries' requirement, then yes, there is opportunity in terms of medical writing. This medical writing provide a very wide variety of a job because that medical writing involve the medical writing of different modules which are required for the submission, or the medical writing for the clinical protocol, or the medical writing for the already completed studies. So yeah, medical writing job. So if anyone is really looking for a work from home job, definitely there are the different multinational companies who from the different countries offering a medical writing job to the Indian students. Right? I would suggest you to have a job in the organization rather than just opting for the work from home job. Now, the next opportunity under the clinical research is the opportunity into the bioanalytical field. So if anyone loves the analytical or anyone loves to play with the instrument like LCMS, HPLC, ELISA, RIA, then definitely bioanalytical is a job or the opportunity for you. I personally work for the 5 to 6 year into the bioanalytical field where I handle the LCMS, ELISA, and yeah, those are really interesting things that whatever you think, whatever you learn, whatever your teacher taught into the college, definitely you can see that how this instrument functioning, how this instrument working, and how pharmaceutical companies using this data from those instruments into their actual research. You can saw this. So anyone who is very much good in terms of pipetting or very much good into the analysis, he can explore for the opportunity into the bioanalytical field. So this bioanalytical field, there are very wide opening, as I said, into the tier 2 or tier 1 cities like Pune, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So very much wide openings are there where you can easily start with your career. So yeah, next opportunity in the clinical research is the IVIVC. So if anyone is from the pharmaceutical sciences background, yeah, you all are from the pharmaceutical sciences, but specifically the pharmaceutics. If anyone having the understanding of pharmaceutics as well as understanding of the clinical research, they definitely can explore into the IVIVC. So IVIVC is nothing but in vitro in vivo correlation. So many pharmaceutical giant organizations, instead of directly going for clinical study, just trying to explore that how the pharmaceutical product will behave into the body. But yes, they are doing this in vitro. In vitro, they are just exploring if their product will perform as per the expectation. So yeah, this required very deep understanding of the terminology like Cmax, AUC, AUC infinity, K elimination. So anyone who is interested into the pharmacokinetics and interested in pharmaceutics can explore into the IVIVC. Although number of job openings are less in this field, but believe me, the values which companies, the pharmaceutical organization are putting for those candidates are much higher. So it's simple that the one who is thinking at a greater level, the one who is ready to exceed his capability, you will get more and more value. So these are the few opportunities into the clinical research. As I said, these are the few, and the many are there already where the people are working and sector are evolving. So if you can able to join any of these field, definitely the sky is the limit, and you can see that the clinical research door will get open for you. And there are many sectors where you can definitely make your career. So any question anyone having for the clinical research, or we can definitely get answer for all the question toward the end. So just gap for the 2 minutes. Anyone having any question? If not, then we move to the next slide.
Anyone?
Okay, I have one question. Please elaborate in detail about the medical writing. So thank you, Saurabh, for asking the question. Yeah. So sort of medical writing is the field where, as I said earlier, that a person need to write a certain document. So clinical research is a very well documented research program. It required a very wide variety of documentation, and the documentation certainly up to the level where the different regulatories like our DCGI or the US FDA or the Health Canada or the European Union should understand and accept this document. So this document writing experience or the document writing opportunity is the mostly into the pharmaceutical companies and the clinical research organization. But certainly you are passing from the master in pharmacy or the bachelor in pharmacy. Probably the job which or the work you will get is primarily write a clinical study protocol. So protocol, as everyone knows, it's like how the clinical studies to perform and what things to do, the what subject to get enrolled into the studies, which subject should not, what should do if this evidence occurred, what should do if your study gets complete. So this whole writing is there in the medical writing. Certainly, this is the one opportunity into the pharmaceutical clinical research organization. Whereas on the other side, pharmaceutical companies are also providing opportunity in terms of compilation of the different modules like module 2.5, 2.4, which are essentially required to the different countries to accept the dossier from the pharmaceutical company. So if really you are interested for this career, definitely it's for you. Okay, so yeah, so a few more questions I can see that. Sir, please give your opinion
on the regulatory affairs, professional job scope and growth.
Yeah, So, yeah, regulatory affairs is not a subject which I consider for the today's session, but yes, the regulatory affair, I am working very much closely with the regulatory affair. So, I can tell you one thing, that it is a very great field. That if you want to explore the regulatory affair, then there is a very wide opening, very wide variety of opening there in the pharmaceutical company. You have to be well versed with the guideline. You have to handle a complete regulatory submission to the country. Every countries are having a different requirements. The guidelines are different. So in India, you need to understand this guideline very well, and you need to ensure that the submission get complete as per that country's requirement, as per the specification. So few years back, the Indian regulatory affairs job was not that up to the mark, but now it evolved so rapidly, so fast, that nowadays the Indian companies are doing a n number of multiple submission. Like the company like Arbindo, Zydus, Cipla, Alkem. These companies are doing a n number of submission every year to the different part of the world. So yeah, regulatory affair professional job, the growth is tremendous and the scope is the wide one. So definitely, if you people are interested in the next session, I will definitely cover this regulatory affairs scope and growth. Okay, the next question I can see from the Love Kush, that is it a clinical research field? It is preferably to the only for the pharmacy student or all branches of student. So Love Kush. So very interesting question. Believe me, do people are although doing a specialization, but the pharmaceutical companies are not asking for your specialization to accommodate in one kind of the job, because 4 years of the bachelor in pharmacy, you almost learn everything same across the all the field, all the subjects, all the practicals. Then even master in pharmacy, by the time I passed out, one first year of the master in pharmacy also taught the same kind of syllabus, except exchange or the specialization. Only you get or got your specialization in the second year. So definitely pharmaceutical companies are not looking for your specialization. If you are from the any of the branches, the pharmaceutical, and you are having the interest and knowledge of your pharmacology and your PK, pharmaceutical companies are welcoming you for the clinical research. There is a no as such hard and fast rule to get some kind of the job. Okay, so we'll move to the next topic, next slide. That is opportunities into the clinical project management. So I'm very much glad that people are asking a question and they are really interacting. Okay. Okay, one question is there from the Saurabh, that the job opportunity presented by the insurance company for the medical underwriting is same or the different? Saurabh, so medical underwriting, I don't know if it is a typo error or you want to say the medical writing, but I'm really not very much sure about what kind of job the insurance companies are offering for the freshers under the medical underwriting. Specifically, I first time heard about this. So if you can clear me as we progress into the session, I can definitely answer you. Okay, so yeah, the next slide or the next area is a project management. So yeah, project management is my profession, is my passion, and really it's the job which I really loving from my bottom of heart. So project management is nowadays a field which is evolving and rapidly growing into the pharmaceutical sector. So earlier days, the functional head has to contact to the other functional head to get the job done. Like if any product have to develop, then the portfolio head supposed to contact to the project manager, not to project manager, to the formulation head to develop certain formulation, and the formulation development ask to the API head of the organization to provide such a kind of one kind of the specific kind of the API. Then the development was like the solely with the direction, or I can say that as per the wish of that functional head, different functional head. So pharmaceutical company identified this gap, and then there is a start of the project management field. So yes, project managers are there now. Nowadays, there are opening everywhere into the every pharmaceutical company in the every sector that project managers are required, and their primarily job is to ensure that the project get complete from the inceptions to complete execution. So there are a different type of courses for the project management, but especially I would recommend to, if anyone is really looking for this job, then try to complete the PMP certification from the PMI Institute, Pennsylvania. So the very much respect is there to the PMI PMP examination. Of course, it is a very hard examination. Only 40 to 50% people get passed in this type certification. But I personally believe that when I was about 5 to 6, 7 year experience into the pharmaceutical company, and I completed my PMI PMP certification, suddenly the hits to my profile getting increased, and from the different companies approaches me to for the job. So if anyone is really looking for the career into the project management, definitely supposed to or essentially to complete the project management, because the nowadays this area or this sector is growing with so rapid speed, and the mostly the leaders or the decision maker are from the project management. So here I just mentioned the three different fields from the clinical project management, that the clinical project manager, the formation development project manager, and the integrated PM. So if anyone is interested into the clinical field and also interested in the project management, then he can definitely explore for the job opportunity into the clinical project management. Definitely, for the being a clinical project manager is not just like looking to the clock, looking to the time, and looking to the Excel. But yes, that clinical project manager essentially to have an understanding and knowledge about the clinical field. So if anyone is having the knowledge of the clinical field, can be a successful clinical project manager. And in India, as the clinical field is growing, the requirement for the clinical project manager is also the booming. So there are a project manager required for the clinical trial patient-based studies, where that the one who is looking for the traveling, and one who is liking a clinical field, and one who is liking to make career in the project management can be a project manager for this clinical trial patient-based studies. So the many organizations are offering a very wide job for the clinical trial patient-based studies. And the clinical trial happening all over the globe. So there is a wide opportunity to travel to the abroad. So before I was into the Watson, I did not get chance to visit any other country. But as I entered into the project management, I travel many countries during this my tenure into the current as well as past organization. So there, as well as there are the openings for the BAB studies and the CRO management. So CRO management is a job as a project manager into the clinical trial organization, which I mentioned earlier, are there in the different cities like tier 1, tier 2 cities, like Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, Bangalore, then Chennai, then Ahmedabad, Delhi. So the CRO management job is also the one interesting one, and there is a very wide opening there for this job. Then the next is a formulation development project manager. So if anyone is having the expertise or the liking into the formulation development and wanted to explore or make a career in the project management, then believe me, this is the right field for you. That formation development project management is essentially required a few understanding, like you should aware about the how formulation get developed. Then you should understand the critical part, that what things to do after the what steps are required for to open that phase gate and to make that project successful. Stakeholder understanding, like the API, ADL, what are their roles and what are their function, are definitely required to understand for this field. Then the formation development project management start from the inception into the portfolio to the exhibit batches. So yeah, if anyone is interested into the formation development project management, the certainly job is into the pharmaceutical companies. And believe me, when I was in the college, I was just thinking that the doing a job on the bench or to doing a job on the instrument is fascinating, or this is what I was looking as my career. But as I pass or as I'm moving ahead into this pharmaceutical industry in India, I really realized that rather than the person who is working on the bench, the person who is working in the project management are grabbing a more attention, grabbing a significant contribution into the pharmaceutical companies. So yeah, the project management is really a kind of a job where people can make their career. And it's not a case for the India, but it is the same case for the all across the globe. So yeah, the formation development project management is also the people can think who is pursuing the pharmaceuticals, the pharmaceutics master in pharmacy, he can think to explore for this job. Then another is the integrated project management. If anyone feels that he's having a very good soft skill, he's very good in terms of people management, he's good in terms of understanding or exploring different things, then the integrated PM is a kind of a job for you. So program manager or the portfolio manager is a same similar synonyms for the integrated project management. You can specifically use these terms while looking for the job or the searching a job or the Naukri or the LinkedIn.com. So if you can ask me, I can speak for us and us for the project management, because this is a thing which really pharmaceutical companies are looking, and this is a sector which is just booming like anything into the pharmaceutical sector. So, but yeah, this is not a field where you just need to see that what is happening and what is the next. But yes, you need to have understanding for the business, technical understanding, and the timeline. So it is a triangle. So project manager role is revolve around this triangle. If the person is very much good in the technical understanding, but not a very good in terms of the timeline management, then the person will not be a successful project manager. So anyone who loves to talk, who loves to interact with the different people, different teams, who love to solve the problem, who loves to take initiative, can definitely explore into the project management field. So although I enlisted only the 3 fields are here, but believe me, there are the project management everywhere, every field of every part of the pharmaceutical industry. So if anyone really looking for the want to go into the project management or want to make a career into the project management, I will recommend you to essentially complete a PMP certification. And yeah, you will probably notice the hits which are getting to your LinkedIn or your Naukri profile. So, but yes, be ensure you have command over the language. You should have command over your soft skill, and you should have command over your the technical understanding. So if these 3 things are there with the emotional intelligence and with your skill, you can be definitely a very good project manager into the pharmaceutical company. So yeah, so this is a second opportunity we discussed. So primarily the looking to the timeline allocated, I personally feel to cover these 2 sector where the people or the person can make a career. So any question for the project management, or should we move to the tips and mistakes? Okay, one question is there, that from the Saurabh. Yeah, hi Saurabh. So pharmaceutical manufacturing industrial experience person can get a job into the clinical research industry. His experience is considered or not. So pharmaceutical so Saurabh, if you ask me the experience to consider, so there are the two aspects of experience, that one, that person should wanted to know about the salary, and the second person wanted to know about his use of technical understanding into the different field. So in terms of salary, yeah, the many pharmaceutical companies are referring or the using the earlier salary which the person have from the one field to the another field. In terms of understanding, so pharmaceutical sectors are very much tightly bound to each other. You cannot differentiate one field from another. Like in your masters, the people who are doing masters into the pharmaceutics, and the person who is doing a masters into the chemistry, or the person who is doing a master's into the ecology, those are all interlinked, and the many subjects are overlapping and very few subjects are specialized. So yes, the experience are companies considering while you are shifting one sector to the another, but please make sure that to decide where you really wanted to land up into the in your career. Like as I always refer this example to the students, like the if a NASA wanted to start their explorer to move toward the Mars or the Saturn, they keep the angle at such a right direction that there is a hardly any correction is required. If there is a correction is required, definitely it lost most of the fuel from that rocket. So same principle is applies here. You need to see, you need to think, you need to be a visionary while selecting your field, while selecting your career. If any person fail to select his career, he or she might get a chance to correct it. Otherwise, the people end up into the field where there is a absolutely the fields of no like or no man's land. So guys, please vigilant, please ensure that you selected a very right field for your career. Yeah, so that is the only one question I can see. Okay, so we'll quickly move to what's the time? So yeah, it's 11:41. So we'll move to the next slide. That is a tips and mistakes to consider or to consider while getting a job or after getting a job. So yeah, I can understand that all are students. So before getting into the job, these are the certain a few tips and mistakes which students should consider. So first three things are very much important. Where are you now? Where you want to be, and how you going to get there is very important question. So where are you now? Definitely you are the one, or your teacher is there to answer you. But where you want to be, I think it's up to you, that you need to think that where you want to be land up in your career. As I said, it need to be decided right now, because if you started moving toward the Mars and later you decided to move to the Saturn, definitely it will take ages to correct this direction. And how you are going to get there. So yeah, the industrial person or your teacher are the best guide for you to guide in terms of how to achieve or how to be there in your career span. So guys, please think, please spend a time, don't grab a job which you get at the first moment. Rather, you should think that where you want to be, only and only you can able to succeed in your life. Many people goes into the depression only because they not choose the right field. So I again and again telling that please be be vigilant about selecting your career. Like if I want to select, I want to go into the formation development, and if I got a first job opening or job offering from the clinical research, I should humbly deny that job until and unless there is a botheration or the pressure from the family to grab this job. I'm here not to make you slow. I want you to select a right field. But it's not like you spend ages and ages to select a right field, because the moment you start keeping a gap after you're passing from to the joining a first job, a pharmaceutical company will likely to be less interested in you. Then the next point is India or abroad. Believe me, the career opportunity in India are as attractive as abroad. So if anyone wanted to do a career opportunity in India, certainly think for it. If anyone want to do a career opportunity into the abroad, like my colleagues, my friend Nilesh or Girish explained you, start moving toward it. If you started doing a job in India and later you wanted to shift to the abroad, or vice versa, that you are moved to the abroad, you got a 4 to 5 years of experience and you want to shift back to the India, then it is a very difficult, because the skill set and the requirement of the all the countries are different. So it is like that you are staying in a family, and if I ask you to just go to the your neighbor's house and stay there for a few days, it is gonna difficult. So same wise, selection of a country is also a very primarily the essential thing. Then the next is academic success. So I witness many of my friends, my colleagues who are excellent, successful in the academic, but not necessarily successful in the professional life. The reason are numerous and number, but yeah, don't consider your academic success as a guarantee for your professional career success. Please be vigilant. Then the next is the active listening. As you people are approaching to the pharmaceutical companies or the different universities or the abroad, the active listening is very much important and very much lagging in nowadays in the student. If you are not an active listener, especially into the initial days, the companies or the who are the decision maker are not very much serious about you. They start to thinking like that you are not active listeners, and that means you are not ready to learn the things. So please be an active listener. Especially this is a soft skill required you to adopt now in this stage. Next is a LinkedIn and contacts. Please, guys, polish up your LinkedIn. Please polish up your contacts. Please make your profile simple, clear. Do not add too many things like you did in the college. But yeah, demonstrate your soft skills, your expertise, your area of interest. Many of people might know the person who are doing excellent into the industry. Rather than torturing them and making them like to run away from you, the soft reminder many times helpful. I can see that there are many openings, many job openings are there for the fresher. But as this opening come in front of us, we hardly able to think about the any person who required this job. So there is a huge gap in between the job offering are there into the industry and what the people who are looking into the job. So how you are vigilant, how you are active will decide how you can enter into the domain. So please increase your visibility. Visibility means the people or the company. If you can start following to the different companies HR, you can send a soft reminder. You can send your CVs to them. So make sure your CV drafting is good. You prepare well, and your visibility is more while you get a job. So after getting a job, first job, so probably we might not get to time to interact. So I'll quickly run through the point which people should consider, that auto or manual. So guys, be on a manual mode, shape your career as you want. Don't let it grow like a tree which is just growing like anything. So please give a direction, give a shape to your career by yourself. Once you get a job, keep on learning. Having a great colleague will definitely add a value, will definitely increase your visibility. Always ready for innovate and challenge. There, believe me, the pharmaceutical company in India is offering a very good packages for the person who is innovative and ready to accept a challenge. So if you are the one, do the excellent. Then the emergence of new career, as I few minutes back explained, the project management. Although it is the old, but emergence of project management in every sector is a new kind of the thing. So be a visionary to see the new opportunities coming to the you. Self-awareness for the looking to these career opportunities are important, as well as be aware from the ill-informed decision. Do not take any wrong decision which will impact your career, because ultimately the decision which you are taking will affect your growth as well as your family's growth. Be a performer, brand your strength, and avoid too many thoughts like I want to do career in this and that. Yeah, you can keep option A, option B, but too many thought will definitely spoil your career. Then the good work-life balance essentially is required, because we are doing a job, we are doing a career for the bread and butter and for a life, and be ready for the changes. So the changes are happening and it is evolving. The thing which are now probably will not be after 5 or 10 years after. Because after 90s, the things are changed rapidly. But believe me, in the next 5 years, the speed of the change will be the much higher than the whatever the things are happening now. The few researcher who are researching into the certain area will be obsolete considering the emergence of AI. So guys, please vigilant, please be ready for the change. Ultimately, if you select any career, probably you might be end up into the no man's land where you will be of no use. So yeah, we'll stick to the time, and the session is over for the question and answer or the interaction. If anyone is having any other question or want to know anything more about my experience or my view about a specific theme, are welcome here. The teacher or anyone can ask a question. And if you feel probably that you are not having any question right now and you wanted to ask this question, you can collectively send me all the question, and I'll definitely try to answer honestly up to my abilities for your question. Yeah, so I can certainly see that there are a good questions like, yeah, Saurabh. Okay, for the working in the clinical research industry, which skill set person should have, and which guideline knowledge he should have? So Saurabh, yeah, Saurabh. So there are the guidelines from the different country, but primarily the people are working for the two countries, two regions. If you are wanted to move to the big organization in India, like the whole world is working for the United States, that the United States is the largest consumer in the world. So please read a guideline about the clinical research, like the guideline for the bioequivalence, bioavailability, then the guideline for the bioanalytical science, then the guideline from the refuse to receive. These all guidelines you can easily access, search, get from the USFDA website. These are available and very much accessible for all. So primarily, I would recommend to target USFDA and then the European Union. After Brexit, especially the Britain gets separated, England gets separated from it. But primarily, go for the USFDA and the European Union guidelines. So yeah, next question is from the Samarth Andare. Yeah, hello Samarth. Is there any role of artificial intelligence into the clinical research? If yes, how we can use it? So Samartha, yeah, the artificial intelligence use is increasing into the clinical research as well as into the pharmaceutical sector. So generative AI, they are very much gaining importance, but still time we are not solely rely on the artificial intelligence. Although we have been asked to spend a good amount of time for the use and of the artificial intelligence, but primarily the artificial intelligence in the clinical research are using for the report writing, for the model preparation, and certainly there are been asked to review those reports which are generated from the artificial intelligence. So you can use it, but you necessarily cannot construct it. So you have to be in a pharmaceutical organization to use this artificial intelligence. Then the next question is, what qualities we have to maintain personally in product management? So the soft skills are very much required. Your proficiency over the language is very much required. Then ability to change or adapt considering the requirement into the product management or the project management is very much required. And your technical understanding for the subject. So if you feel that you are very much accommodating or the very much ready to adjust as per the scenario, then you're the right guy, believe me, for the project management field. And the qualities necessarily use of technology is also the nowadays increasing into the project management. So guys, I'm trying to answer in short about your question, considering the time allocated to me. Still, if you wanted to grab a more answer or elaborated answer, then please collectively you can send this question via your teacher to me. So any more question anyone having, please let me know, or we're good to close our session.
Dear delegates, if you have any question, feel free to ask.
More answer or answer, please collectively you can say this question via your teacher. So guys, I mentioned my official email ID as well as my LinkedIn profile here. So if anyone really wanted to connect me or wanted to understand more, can be in touch. I will be happy to answer these or her questions.
I, Sampara Deshmukh, wanted to express my heartfelt appreciation for the remarkable presentation at this international conference. Sir, your insights on career opportunities in clinical research and project were truly enlightening and inspiring all of us. Thank you for your time and contribution. Thank you, sir.
So pleasure is mine. Thank you so much. I will definitely like to meet you guys in presence. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I hand over for the session to our host, Mr. Gautam, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dear delegates, faculty members and researchers, and dear pharmacy students. Before moving towards the third session, I would like to request all of you, please put your video on to get the snapshot of this particular session. Yeah. All the participants and delegates, please put your video on. Thank you so much for your valuable presence with us. I'm very much thankful, Honorable Tushar Chauhan sir, for his nice session. And definitely, yes, I hope this session will be fruitful to our students. Moving further, first of all, I would like to confirm our resource person, Honorable Dr. Girish Kedar sir. Sir, are you there?
Yes,
Yeah,
good morning.
yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, dear delegates and faculty members, researchers, and dear pharmacy students, we are moving forward for our third session of this international e-conference. And for this session, today with us, Honorable Dr. Girish Kedar sir, for his session on opportunities in medical devices and innovations technologies. So, for this purpose, I would like to request our faculty member, Dr. Tarannum Patwe ma'am, please introduce in brief our resource person, Honorable Dr. Girish Kedar sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to have Dr. Girish Kedar, and it's my pleasure to introduce him. Giriji is a Mumbai native, embarked on an international journey in 2009. He has done higher studies in Sweden and later transversing Europe. He has holding a pharmacy degree from India and a PhD in neuroscience from VRIJE University, Amsterdam. He has cultivated a diverse background. His professional trajectory includes the roles as a consultant for pharmaceutical and medical device companies with a focus on regulatory affairs, market analysis, and business intelligence. He joined the British Standard Institute in October 2019. He currently spearheads the regulatory knowledge enhancement and the training material development for internal stakeholders. Beyond his corporate endeavors, Girishji serves as a dedicated PhD or postdoc career coach, guiding the individuals through personal and professional challenges. Now I request to Girishji to start his session on the topic Opportunity in Medical Devices and Innovation Technologies. Please, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you.
Girish.
Yes, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Perfect. Sarvana Namaskar, Netherlands Hun. Thank you so much for wonderful introduction. I'll just share my screen. Is it already shared or do I need to share it again?
No, sir, you have to share. Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me a second.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah.
visible, sir. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Is it like full presentation mode or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Perfect.
go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So first of all, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk on such a wonderful occasion of your international conference. I hope I'll add a small bit of my experience and knowledge um, to this session. So I'm going to talk about opportunities in medical device and innovation technology. Being a pharmacy student, of course, we very much focus on pharmaceutical industry, which is obvious, but there are also several other parallel industries where majority of you may not have an understanding of. So this is just a small attempt to make you aware of, there is another parallel kind of industry, which is equally interesting, equally, they need a lot of talent. So I'm going to start my presentation on this. Just to give you my background, as ma'am explained, I originally come from Mumbai, Thane. Around 2009, I left India to do my higher studies. So I went to Sweden to do my molecular biology, master's in molecular biology, and then moved to Germany and then Netherlands to do my PhD in neuroscience. And since 2016 around, I started, my small consultancy firm in Netherlands. And then in 2019, I got hired at BSI. So in BSI, what I do is I mainly focus on European regulatory affairs from medical device industry perspective. And I train all the staff for regulatory requirements. So in this presentation, I'm going to start with speaking a little bit about who is BSI, then introduction to medical device industry, overview of regulatory affairs, innovation technologies, career opportunities, and at the end, conclusion. So who is BSI? So BSI, British Standards Institute, it was established almost around 125 years ago. It was established in 1901. And they are BSI is the first company to ever publish a specific standard. Now, you might have heard about ISO 9001 or ISO XYZ number. So BSI is the one who actually started that trend of standardizing something. So it all started in London around 1905. They wanted to standardize the tracks for tram, which were going across London city, and that's where it all began. So in 1930, it was properly established, British Standards Institute, and around 1947, around when India got independence, the ISO, International Organization for Standard, it was established, and BSI was one of the key role player in establishment of ISO standard organization. So yeah, we are based all across the globe. We have 87 offices in 31 countries. We are a company of around 6,000 people now, more than 5,500. We have around 84,000 clients, and all these clients come from almost all the countries, 193 countries. So these are the different streams we are active in. So built environment, energy, food, retail, government, healthcare, ICT, and manufacturing and transport and mobility. So all these different sectors, we help them using this 4 fundamental platform. So we either provide knowledge solutions. So for example, creation and sharing of standards. So you will see a lot of standards coming out in the market, and majority of them are developed by British Standards Institute. There are also other standards coming from different nationals, nations, and India also creates their own standard, but majority of the time, India adopts international standards, ISO. Second platform is assurance services. For example, system certifications, product certification. We also provide training. Regulatory services. So that's where that's the stream where I work in within BSI, regulatory services. So we issue systems and product certifications of medical devices. So basically, if there is any product that needs to be sold in European Union, they first need a CE mark. So if you are wearing glasses, sunglasses, or just vision correction glasses, if you see, they will have a CE mark on them. Apart from that, you will see a lot of electronics sold within India. They will have a CE mark. So CE mark actually is a European Union's requirement. It's not Indian requirement. But of course, to place the product on European market, you need to go through a lot of rigorous regulatory requirement. So pretty much all the Eastern world countries, like whether it's India, whether it's Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand, they all accept CE marked devices or products. So once it's cleared for European Union, sale, it is most likely, they will be accepted in India as well. So that's why we see a CE mark on our products. But that's not an Indian requirement, that's a European Union's requirement. The last platform is consulting services. We do a lot of assessment, we test the devices, products, and continual improvement as well. Okay, so let's dive into the actual topic of today. So medical device industry. Now, I'm quite sure, whenever we go to hospital, we see a lot of products, we see a lot of devices, but I'm quite sure hardly anyone of you knows that there is a huge industry built around those medical devices. One of them is, of course, a regulatory industry. Now, manufacturing industry is quite huge. In India, majority of the practice is like in India, we import a lot of medical devices. There are not many original manufacturers within India. There are quite a few, of course, but majority of the devices, they are imported in India. So majority of the submissions in India happens for import of a particular medical device. So now the first question is, why choose medical device regulatory affairs? I'm going to talk more about regulatory affairs because I work in that industry. So I of course have hands-on knowledge about regulatory affairs in the medical device industry. So the first important thing is, whether it's a pharmaceutical industry, whether it's a medical device industry, whether it's biotech, medical engineering, so on and so forth, it's all about making a positive impact on a global health. We are, working day and night to help that one individual, the one stakeholders, that is patient, to make their life a much better one. So what we do is, of course, through this pharmaceutical or medical device industry, we try to ensure a safety and efficacy of whatever product we place on the market. They should be safe and effective. And of course, on top of that, a lot of innovation is happening. Of course, innovation was happening since many, many decades, But in recent 10, 20 years, a lot of technological advancements have led to bringing innovative medical devices into the market. I'm going to touch upon some of the innovative approaches, and I'm quite sure some of you may get inspired to work in those fields. The second one is, of course, it's a diverse and intellectually stimulating career. Now, as a regulatory affairs professional, you will be working with researchers, you will be working with scientists, you might be working with, of course, manufacturing, design, production people. You might be working with the clients directly, or hospitals or patient. So there is a huge opportunity to gain a lot of knowledge and enhance your skill sets. Lastly, of course, there is a promising career growth and potential. I'm not though I'm based in the Netherlands, I'm not here to tell you that how working abroad is best compared to India. Of course, everything has its own pros and cons. Right now, India is a booming market. If I look at European Union or USA, the market is pretty much stagnant. But of course, we will see how things will unfold in future. But yeah, it offers a promising career growth, and there is a huge potential to excel in your career. As I mentioned, industry is experiencing a significant growth, and there are diverse career paths. I'm going to touch upon some of the diverse career paths. Now, let's look at the quick definition of what is a medical device. Now, this definition of medical device is taken from European Union's MDR, Medical Device Regulation, which was published in 2017. And this is currently the regulatory requirement. Anyone who wants to place the medical device on the European market, they must comply with EU MDR. Okay. Now, what is a medical device? Now, it could be anything: an instrument, apparatus, appliance, software, even a solution. It can be anything that will help diagnose, prevent, monitor, predict, prognose, treat any sort of disease. It can be for investigational purposes or replacement or modification of anatomy. Or for example, prosthetic devices. And it may also be, providing information by means of in vitro examination, for example, glucose monitors. As you can see, these are some of the examples of medical devices. So for example, syringe, you won't even think about it sometime that, okay, this is a medical device, and the liquid in it actually a drug. So both of them have totally different regulatory requirements. Okay. Pacemaker is another technology which helps individuals maintain their heart rhythm. Third one you see is a continuous glucose monitor, by which means a diabetic patient can monitor their glucose level. The fourth one you see is actually handheld kind of glucose monitor. That's an in vitro diagnostic device, and this one is medical device. And of course, you see there is an hip implant over here. So you will be able to work with a diverse kind of product range, right from very low risk class product range to really high risk class product range, right? Cardiac pacemaker or neural implants, spinal implants, orthopedic implants. It's fascinating to work around those products and looking at their regulatory requirements. Now, let's look at the global regulatory landscape. I'm just going to talk about few countries, but globally, each and every country will have their own regulatory requirement. So just a brief, quick overview on India. So within India, Central Drugs Standards Control Organization, CDSCO, is mainly responsible to look after medical devices which are sold in India. If you look at Japan, it's Pharmaceuticals and Medical Device Agency, PMDA. In Australia, it's Therapeutic Goods Administration, TGA. If you look into USA, it's FDA. And if you look into European Union, now European Union is a bunch of different European countries, around 27 at this moment. They came together and they formed European Union. It started somewhere right after World War II, after 1945. In the beginning, there were just 3 or 4 countries within European Union, but today at this moment there are around 27 member states or countries within European Union. Now each country will have their own competent authorities. For example, for India, it's CDSCO. Similarly, for each member state, it's called as competent authority. They will have their own national competent authority, and these competent authorities are mainly responsible to look after medical devices in their own territory. If you look at China, it's National Medical Product Administration, NMPA, and of course, they will have their own requirements. So as I mentioned, globally, each and every country will have their own medical device regulatory requirement. As I mentioned, if the product is already sold on European Union or US market, it is most likely that it will be easily accepted in African or Eastern world, for example, India, or let's say China, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, so on and so forth. Some countries are very stricter, for example, USA, Canada, UK, European Union, Australia, Japan. Their regulatory requirements are very, very stringent. But if we look at India or Eastern Asian countries, African countries or South American countries, their regulatory requirements are not that stringent, and that's why they easily accept European or US approved, US FDA approved products in their own territory. Now let's quickly look at the regulatory frameworks and requirements. So of course, anything, if you need to sell anything or something new, you will come up with an idea, you will come up with a concept, and then you will start working on the design. Now, of course, same goes with the medical devices as well. Somewhere it all started with just an idea. That idea, leads into a crave for, building something important, and then it is designed. The next important step is, of course, to do a preclinical studies. Your bench test, cadaver test, just to understand the physicochemical, biochemical safety issues, performance related issues of that medical devices. And as my friend Tushar mentioned, there could be a clinical trial requirement with that medical device. Usually that clinical trial is, optional sometime, because if you are a producer of a medical device, which is very similar to already marketed medical device, then you don't need to go into all the clinical trials, because you are showing an equivalence to already marketed device. So clinical trial is not always necessary, but if it's a high risk class device, let's say cardiac implant or orthopedic implant, then you might need a clinical trial. Once you are done with collecting all this data, you will need to, of course, you will have your company. That company should have a quality management system. Yeah, so your function, your top management, your production, your manufacturing, packaging, sterilization, transportation, shipments, everything should be as per the quality management system. Now, for medical devices, it's ISO 13485. As I mentioned in the beginning, you might have heard about ISO 9001. It's a quality management system standard, but it's very broad and general quality management system. So even a restaurant or even Chitale from Pune, they can have this ISO 9001 standard. It's all about managing quality of your product and services. But if we talk about medical device industry, on a similar basis, we have ISO 13485 standard that's specifically built for medical device industry. Either if you are manufacturing a medical device, or if you are providing medical device related services, then you can opt for ISO 13485. So majority of the companies in India who deal with medical devices, they mostly will have ISO 13485 certification. Then along with the quality management system, you also need proper technical documentation. You need to collect all the technical documentation and submit it for regulatory submissions. So I have listed very few regulatory requirements. For example, in India, it's medical device rules 2017 that's applicable to medical devices. In USA, it's 21 CFR Code of Federal Regulation. In EU, it's MDR or IVDR, medical device regulation. And in Australia, it can be MDSAP, medical device single audit program. Once it goes through regulatory submissions, once it's approved, once the device is approved to be marketed in a country, then of course you launch the device. But that's not where the story ends. After the product is launched, you must a manufacturer must do post-market surveillance activities. For example, collecting all the complaints, warranty claims, guarantee claims, and so on and so forth. So there is a huge kind of a process right from building a product to selling a product. It's almost similar to pharmaceutical industry, but of course, to get a product from idea to the market, it takes almost 10, 12, 13 years, and it needs billions and billions of dollars. And that's why it's quite critical. But with medical device industry, the time span is very, shortened. You can come up with your medical device within 2 or 3 years, or even less than that if it's a low risk class device. Of course, if it's a high risk class device, you will need to do clinical trials, which are in fact very smaller compared to pharmaceutical industry. Now let's quickly look into the rise of the emergent technologies. So first of all, artificial intelligence, my friend Tushar touched upon this concept. It's not new concept, artificial intelligence. It's going on since several decades, but just because of, in 2023 beginning or 2022, end of 2022, ChatGPT came out and it blown away everyone's mind. So it is happening, it is reality, and artificial intelligence is pretty much used in every aspect of our life. If you are using a mobile phone, you have been impacted, or you are using artificial intelligence by one or other means. So just give you two examples, DeepMind's AlphaFold protein structure prediction tool. Now, this is not a medical device. It is, of course, mostly goes into medicine kind of world. But of course, this tool can be used to, develop some sort of proteins. And based on that, a company may come up with a particular medical device. Because a medical device can also incorporate a medicine. For example, a stent, cardiac stent, where a metal, let's say a spring-like structure is put into the arteries so that it can open up the arteries. Now these stents will have, let's say, an antibiotic coating, or let's say heparin coating, because for a lot of different purposes. The second one over here is AI-powered breast cancer screening using mammography. So and it's just cancer I'm talking about, but there are a lot of other diseases where AI powered identification, image identification techniques can be used. So companies like Page or Zebra Medical Vision, they have come up with AI based tools where they have trained that AI machine, AI tool, to understand in a particular, let's say, histology, or in CT scan, or in a brain scan, they can clearly identify which locations have a particular cancerous growth. So today, a decade ago, or maybe 5 years ago, and a doctor with a lot of knowledge had to look into those images, and there was still a small 2, 3, 4% possibility that diagnosis might go wrong. But with AI generated tools, it has been identified, their identification of these cancers is pretty much on spot, pretty much equal to, or sometime even better to other doctors. Another technology is 3D printing. It's very much used in a lot of different practices, but these 3D printed products are actually medical devices. So for example, 3D printed orthotic braces to align, to have a perfect alignment of, let's say, spinal cord, or let's say other limbs. Manufacturers can build 3D printed. These are very customized 3D printed products, unique to one individual. globally. Another one is patient-specific surgical guided implants and also other 3D printed devices. The third, technology is robotics and minimal invasive surgery. The first one is Da Vinci surgical system. That's a minimal invasive surgery done mostly used for gallbladder removal or colorectal surgery, kidney surgery. The benefit of it is a doctor might be based in India, but the operation can be done in USA. It's so amazing technology. Da Vinci. If you get a chance, look on the Google or YouTube to look at the demonstration. Another technology, robotics, is exoskeletons. I happen to work with one of the Spanish company who were building robots, exoskeletal robots for 12, 13-year-old kids who were kind of paraplegic kids. So they were not able to, they were paralyzed, hip below. So these exoskeletons were helpful to get them walk again. Now let's quickly look into how to enter this field. I talked a lot about what is medical device, what are the what is the future of medical device, amazing technologies coming out. Now how to enter into this particular field. I presume most of you are doing your bachelor's or diploma in pharmacy. So you can start right now. If you are doing B Pharm, maybe you can consider going for M Pharm, or even a PhD is great opportunity to enter into this field. But make sure that you are good with a particular technology. Okay, maybe software used in medical devices, or how to manufacture a cardiac implant, or how to do a research work, or doing a research work on neuro implant. So if you get an opportunity to work with such kind of company at initial stage, it will be great first foot into the medical device regulatory affairs industry. So any sort of, if you have a scientific background, in future you may do M Pharm of PhD. Try to look into those particular sectors which will lead you into the medical device regulatory affairs industry. As my friend Tushar mentioned, that think about where you want to go. Just to add to that point, if you are taking any sort of position, any sort of educational, let's say masters or bachelors or PhD, think what will happen to me after 5 years once I'm done with this particular course, or once I'm done with this particular internship. What will be the consequences after 5 years? So think from that perspective. Don't think like, oh, I'm getting nice internship, or I'm getting masters in particular field, which is amazing and it will pay me a lot in future. Don't do assumptions, do a proper research. And there are a lot of sources, LinkedIn or YouTube nowadays, ChatGPT or Gemini. There are a lot of platforms available to do that research. So think what will happen after 5 years. Just to top it up, you can also do regulatory affairs certifications. So for example, there are different organizations like RAPS. It's a Regulatory Affairs Professional Society. It's quite an international society organization. Same goes for TOPRA. They are globally well-recognized organization, and they provide a lot of certification related to regulatory affairs, whether it's US, China, India, or any field around it, or any national requirement around medical device regulatory affairs. Now, the most important skill set is you must have a scientific understanding. You should have an attention to detail skill, and your communication and project management skills should be, best of the best. I think Tushar already, went into details of project management. So if you are going through that route, I think, regulatory affairs might also be something interesting for you. Now, just to look at different courses available, if in case you think medical device regulatory affairs is quite an interesting field. So in Mumbai there is a course available, Masters in Technology, pharmaceutical technology course available in Institute of Chemical Technology. It's in Mumbai, but globally, if you look at, these are the different places, different universities, where regulatory affairs, courses are available. I can surely vouch on about, Netherlands universities, for example, Leiden University, Utrecht University. I personally know these universities. A lot of friends of mine, come through these universities. They are best of the best, world-class universities. Also, this one in Germany, RWTH Aachen University. I happened to visit this university when I was doing my master's internship in Heidelberg, Germany. Sweden, definitely my friend Nilesh. I think he already gave a talk. He is based in Sweden, and he can, of course, tell you a lot about Uppsala University, again, top class university. So these are only few examples, but if you are really planning to go abroad, then reach out to people who are already abroad. Of course, you can reach out to me if you want, and I'll be more than happy to give you a quick input on possible courses and real life examples. Okay, once you're done with the master's or PhD, or let's say you got a course, you got a certification around medical device regulatory affairs. Now, let's say it's time to enter into the industry. Now, initially, the first entry level, these are the entry level positions which need 1 to 3 years of experience. So you can start with regulatory affairs associate or regulatory affairs specialist, where you will be directly involved in an administrative task, writing technical documentation, looking at what are the regulatory requirements around it, and below it you see what are the annual salary range. Now, again, when I talk about annual salary range, it's from Indian perspective, and this may change based on your experience, based on your knowledge, based on how big is the company. So initially, it may start from 3 to 4 lakh rupees per annum. But then as you gain your experience, it will be, let's say, regulatory affairs officer or quality assurance associate, where you conduct quality check and look into regulatory documents, so on and so forth. Next, let's say when you have 4 to 7 years of experience, you may become regulatory affairs analyst, where you prepare and submit the regulatory application documents and manage communication with regulatory authorities. Then a little bit higher is clinical research associate from regulatory affairs perspective. And you will be specifically involved in supporting clinical trials from regulatory perspective. Each and every clinical trial is done based on the Declaration of Helsinki or ethics committee's approval. So you will be involved in those kind of activities. And the salary range, you can see it's per annum Indian rupees. A little bit higher experience, you may become regulatory project manager, and of course you will be involved in management of several different product lines or specific technical documentation or quality management system of that company. A little bit senior role, regulatory affairs manager. You will be managing your own team of regulatory affairs, let's say specialists or officers. And the salary range, you can already see it goes from 8 lakh to 12 lakh per annum. Then comes senior regulatory affairs specialist, again quite a senior role with a good salary package. And then comes a director of regulatory affairs. Again, director is responsible for higher responsibilities and looking after a huge team of regulatory affairs managers or specialists. Salary range, as you can see, it's already mentioned. Then comes a C-suite level positions like chief regulatory officer or senior vice president, and again they are responsible for the larger portfolio of a company. Now, a company may be based in India but might be also based in European Union or USA. Now, as a CRO or let's say senior vice president, you might be responsible for looking at all these different stakeholders, engaging with higher governmental officials, so on and so forth. And the salary range, you can see 20 lakhs to 30 lakhs on an average. Now beyond, if you're done, let's say in 5-6 years you are done with working for an industry, and if you feel like I should have my own business as a regulatory affairs consultant, then there is also possibility to be a regulatory consultant. And of course you will be directly involved with a lot many companies. You can have your own regulatory specialist people, and the income can be ranging from 5 lakh, 15 lakh. There is no limit actually when you are an businessman or woman, and it pays really well. There is a little bit off track opportunity as well to become a regulatory attorney. If you're really interested in doing law, legal aspects, you can also go to that particular course, which will help you become regulatory attorney, and then you can have your own business. And of course the numbers are just estimate. Now if I talk from abroad perspective, the salary range, any salary, multiply it with 10. Okay, so if it's for beginner, if it's, let's say, a regulatory specialist, regulatory affairs specialist, if it's 3 lakh per annum, if you work in European Union, or let's say if you work in USA, it might be around 25-30 lakhs per annum. But that does not mean, oh, I'm going to be rich in this European country. No, the expenses are equally high. So you need to think about whether really is it worth to move abroad. Yes, there are quite a lot of pros, but there are also some cons about moving abroad. So if you just want to know about life in life outside of India, I'll be more than happy to walk you through it. So in a conclusion, medical device industry, just like pharmaceutical industry, it ensures safe and effective medical devices for improved patient outcome. We all are working towards that one individual who is a patient. You can make a positive impact in a dynamic career with growth potential. A global medical device life cycle shares a lot of commonalities. So if you have experience in European or let's say US regulatory affairs, that same regulatory affairs knowledge will be helpful to look at Asian regulatory affairs, because the more or less the things are quite similar. It's just some regulatory requirements might be a little bit different. Quality and harmonization efforts are very crucial, and of course at the end, ethical considerations prioritize patient safety and responsible development. So you will be involved in something really extraordinary thing, which is introducing safe and effective product to a patient. And with this, I would like to thank you for your attention, and of course there might be some questions, so I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And yes, you can connect me through LinkedIn. You can just search my name, Girish Kedar, and I'll be more than happy to connect you through LinkedIn. So are there any questions?
Okay, session is open for questions. Dear delegates, have you any questions regarding? Okay, there is one question that how about postdoc opportunities in Netherlands?
Oh, that's a nice one. Thank you, Arun Kumar. So postdoctoral opportunities, of course, there are a lot of wonderful universities in Europe, in Netherlands, of course, in USA. Now, if you plan to do a postdoctoral, be very clear in your mind that what you need to do after postdoctoral, because I have experienced, I have seen a lot of my friends, doing, after PhD, they do another postdoc, and then after that postdoc, they do another postdoc, and there is a bottleneck at the end. So you need to plan it properly. I think Nilesh might have covered it, and I'm quite sure Tushar already mentioned it. Be specific with your career goals. Don't take it lightly that okay, if I do a postdoc, I'll get an amazing job in a company. No, it may not happen. So be very specific. Yes, you will get postdoc in the Netherlands if you approach right university, right PI, but the only suggestion I'll have, plan it properly. Don't just think that I'm getting postdoc, so my life is, in a safer hands now. It's, pretty much with every other, profession. Plan it properly. Think from 5-10 years perspective down the line. I hope that answers your question, Arun Kumar.
Kedar sir, I have one
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes, sir.
Does this definition of medical devices,
Mhm.
It varies from country to country?
Yes, that's also a good one. So yes, in some countries, a particular product will be considered as a medical device. In some countries, it may not. For
Yeah.
example, toothbrush, right? Everyone uses toothbrush every day. For example, in European Union, it's not a medical device, but there are some countries where the toothbrush is also considered as a medical device. So it's all about the interpretation of the national
माझी
authority,
काकू म्हणे
and
बघतेस म्हणे
based on
त्यांच्याकडे ते
that,
एवढे नफासाठी हे करू राहिले ना म्हणे.
they based on that, a product can be a medical device, cannot be a medical device.
In that case, like definition of India,
Mhm.
Definition of medical devices in India, in USA and UK. How do you compare? Like, is it more or less similar, or there is a difference?
If I talk about USA, European Union, let's say UK and India, majority of the definition is very similar. There is no huge difference. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I
So
see
there is a question in chat box. Siddhant is asking is there any PhD in regulatory affairs? And if yes, where we can gain that?
As such, there are no. I don't think there is very specific. So when we talk about PhD, it's more about you are trying to push a boundary of a knowledge. Okay. Now, regulatory affairs is not. Regulatory affairs are defined by a national, regulatory authorities. Okay, so there is nothing much you can push the boundary. It's all up to the legislative assembly or politicians how to manage the regulatory affairs around a medical device. So as such, a PhD in regulatory affairs is not so common, but you can do a PhD in a particular medical device technology, for example, 3D printing or robotics, so on and so forth. And during your PhD, you can also take a regulatory affairs as one of your topic, and try to expand into that regulatory affairs topic, so that when you try to go into industry, you can already show that I have worked on regulatory affairs related aspect during my PhD. So if you're doing a PhD or let's say even a master's, you can have that additional course or a topic in as a part of your PhD or master's thesis. Thanks, Siddhant, for that question.
Okay.
Love Kush asks how to register for course like TOPRA and other enlisted in the slide. What is the advantage for getting job in regulatory affairs? So whether it's TOPRA or whether it's RAPS, you can simply Google it, raps.org or topra.com. There you will find the full list of what courses are available. I can of course share that link with you if you cannot find it. What are the advantages of so I think I already mentioned in my slide what are the advantages of getting a job in regulatory affairs. You get to work with scientists, manufacturers, your clients. You need to be very knowledgeable about regulatory requirements. That already puts you on a high bar of knowledgeable people, because people will come to you asking, hey, can I make this particular change in my product? You need to think from regulatory perspective, will that change will be allowed to be put into, let's say, European market or Indian market or let's say Japanese market. So if you do a regulatory affairs job, this is what I love about my job, that I looked upon as someone knowledgeable, that I know something about regulatory affairs even before people take their decision. So that's one of the wonderful thing about being in a regulatory affairs job market. Okay, thanks for the question, Lokush. Nikita asks, as
Yes,
a
sir.
RA professional, which skill required in industry? I think Tushar already touched upon some of the skills like communication, leadership abilities, attention to details, your crave to learn more about, regulatory and scientific field as well. Negotiation skills, um, writing skills, scientific writing and medical writing. Those are the very, very important skills that you should acquire if you're really thinking about, regulatory affairs job. So yeah, scientific, medical writing, communication, leadership ability, project management. Those are some of the skills that you need to become a good RA professional. And then I don't see any questions. I don't know. There's a question from Romil, I guess.
Romil,
I have
yes, sir.
completed my clinical
Clinical.
research and clinical trials course. There is any benefit of those courses for upcoming career? Yes, I think, having, completed these courses in clinical research and clinical trials, in regulatory affairs, you also need a good understanding of how a particular clinical trial's been done, how a particular clinical trial is conducted, ethics committees approval, so on and so forth. So if you add on regulatory affairs, course or knowledge or certification to that course, I think it will be wonderful for you to, venture into regulatory affairs, industry.
Thank you, sir, for your all clarification.
No problem.
Um,
Pleasure is mine.
Okay. On behalf of all participants, students and staff of Lok Nitya Dr. J.D. Pawar College of Pharmacy, I'm glad to express thanks to our session speaker, Dr. Girish Kedar, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us. Your thoughts have truly inspired our students. I appreciate the information and advice as you have shared, sir. I'm so very thankful for your time. Please accept our deepest gratitude. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to get invited and present on this occasion. So thank you so much, everyone, and wish you all the best for your bright future. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Gautam, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Dr. Girish Kedar, sir, for such a nice and informative session and enlighten us about the medical devices and innovative technologies. I hope our researchers and our students will be benefited with this innovative career path and diverse career path. I request all the delegates, faculty members and students, please put your video on for taking a snapshot. Yeah, I request to all the participants, please put your video on. Thank you so much, all the delegates and participants. One important announcement to all of you. Our last fourth session is scheduled at 5 p.m. by Honorable Ms. Komal Bhandari ma'am for her session on regulatory affairs as a career opportunity. So I request all of you, please join with us with the YouTube channel as well as Zoom platform before 15 minutes of this last session. So I request all of you, please join us before 15 minutes of last session, which is scheduled at 5 p.m. So meanwhile, thank you. And I hope the participants will be there before starting of the session at 5 p.m. Thank you. Thank you once again. One announcement to our hostelite students. I request our hostelite students, please gather over in the classrooms at 5 p.m. to join the last session, which is delivered by Miss Honorable Miss Komal Bhandari. And that session is scheduled at 5 p.m. So please join us.